What is the ruling on supporting Black Lives Matter movement?
All lives matter. However, this movement is something for them and not us. Support Islam and Muslims.
Oh, that's terrible. It's like saying, what is the ruling on using toilet paper? Well, toilet paper is something for everybody, but we don't use that, we use water. So let them do that, and we use water. That's essentially what he just did. But you know, in your toilet, you have toilet paper and water. It exists. What are you doing, son? Like,
You have a house that's on fire, and you say, hey, my house is on fire. And you know, my house matters right now. Someone comes, hey man, all houses matter. Yeah, your house is not on fire right now. That's what it is to me.
That is one of the most disgusting responses I've read, and it shows someone who's completely insecure about their own intellect.
Muslims are black. There's so many black Muslims, so this doesn't make sense.
But what we do is we ask other people what the ruling is on supporting a movement. Like, what's the ruling on being vegetarian? What's the ruling on supporting cleaning up our community streets? Like, the fact that you need to ask that question shows how insecure and how we've become sheep.
Like, how can the sheikh basically say that this movement is for them and not for us, the same way that they would say something is for the kuffar, not for the Muslims? Like, it's disgusting.
You know, I think this whole business about Black Lives Matter as opposed to other lives mattering is a false dichotomy that has been created by those who hate the idea of Black Lives Matter. It's a false dichotomy. Because when it says all lives matter, what it means, it diffuses the whole thing. And it is a statement of refusal to see why the Black Lives Matter movement is so important.
There was this story around, I think his name was Stephen Clark, if I'm correct, in America, who was a Muslim man who was killed. There's so much police brutality in the US. He was killed. And then it was only when he was identified as Muslim that people were like, oh, as you know, subhanAllah, they're making dua, that he gets into Jannah, all of these things. We should be, you know, caring about deaths regardless.
I believe that the sheikhs who are speaking like this, they don't have a clue. And they're the ones who are part of the problem, because we need to see a Black Lives Matter in Saudi Arabia, in Iran, in Qatar, because the way black people are treated there is much worse.
Like, I don't know what some people think happens, like when we come to Islam, that we dissolve and then we're not black anymore. Like just like sugar in water, do you understand? And then we become part of this homogenous Islamic identity. I think that's like super poor, because even in the Quran, like, we are told that we were created as tribes and nations. Like the Prophet ﷺ, like we memorize. Why do we memorize his lineage? You know what I'm saying? It's because it's significant. It's what makes a person, your tribe, your nation, who you are. Like, as black people, like, we have been in the Muslim Ummah from the get-go. Like, we're not like new additions to the Ummah, you know. Like, before the Hijrah to Medina, like, the Prophet ﷺ sent them to Africa. Like, we are so significant. And I think to just kind of almost be like, support Islam and Muslims and just exclude the plight of black people is actually so problematic when you think about the fact that, like, when the Muslims were being attacked and when the Muslims were being persecuted, it was Africa that they came to for refuge. So why then, when we are being attacked and persecuted, is this Islamic identity that you're talking about not a place of refuge for us?
The fact that a person has died, I think we should care. I think as a Muslim, being empathetic and compassionate is deeply set into our religion. So we should actually be practicing that rather than turning a blind eye when we think they're not Muslim. So it's very important to me.
As Muslims, are we not supposed to be the ones at the front for social justice? Are we not supposed to be the ones where we uphold that there shouldn't be no discrimination between all people?
He separated us. He said that's their issue. Let's focus on Muslims and support Islam and Muslims. Yeah. Doesn't Islam support peace? Doesn't Islam support everyone? Doesn't it say that an innocent person killed is like killing the whole of mankind? So why are you putting us in our own box? Why are you alienating us by doing that? It's disgusting. It's absolutely pathetic. I can't buy into something like that.
Let's not utilize
misinformation as a way of judging the intentions of brothers and sisters that are there working for the community as a whole and society as a whole, and ensuring that black people like me and like some of you watching are not killed at the hands of the state or are not oppressed and left helpless.